Konnichiwa mina, or should I say ni hao, because today we are coming back with Fanfiction Friday. I know my Fanfiction Fridays have always come in late, but that's because I talk a lot and these chapters get super long. And mind you, when I say this, the closer we get to the smexy time with these two, the longer the chapters are gonna get. I'm telling you right now. And with that being said, let's get into chapter Old Wounds. So chapter 7, Old Wounds.
Old wound. Oh boy.
This chapter literally starts out with Wei-Wuxian saying, well,
Oh, that chapter.
yeah,
Literally starts out with
with everything that just happened just now. With Lan Wangji bowing to him and basically vowing to be his right hand in command and doing whatever he wants, basically being his bodyguard. Wei Wuxian was just shocked and saw that Lan Wangji's face was mortified and embarrassed.
Damn.
To the point that he's like, I gotta go look for him. I gotta kill this up. There's something wrong here, okay? There must have been a misunderstanding. So he decides to go outside, looks that everybody's going to lunch. Then he hears from fourth uncle, you know, the dude that makes the wine. Lan Wangji said that he was gonna go into town and he would be right back. So Wei Wuxian's like, okay. So he went into town. He decided to get some space. That's fine. That's fine. There was a misunderstanding and that's fine. With hearing that Lan Wangji went into town, Wei Wuxian decides to be like on the edge, like right at the opening of their campsite, and is just pacing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And he's like, when is he coming back? He needs to come back. We need to clear this up. And he's like, wait, when he comes back, what do I say? I don't know what to say.
So all that pacing couldn't think of anything
No,
to say.
no, he couldn't. He was
Right.
just panicking because Lan Wangji is like, left.
He's worried that the Lans will come back and...
No, actually, he thinks this time that Lan Wangji left on his own accord and went back.
Oh.
And then he's like, you know what? No, I need to distract myself. Need to give him space and distract myself. Yeah, let's do that.
You should make a puppet and just play with him.
Then he decides to go in the cave, you know, make more talismans for them. The more he tries, the more he keeps fiddling with the brush and staining his hands with ink that he literally is like, so like, what do I say to him when I find him? Or like, if he comes in, what do I say to him? What if he doesn't come back? What if he went to the land sect and he's never gonna come back? Is it that bad that he probably would go back to the land sect? Would he go back without saying goodbye? And then he's noticing that it's getting later and later and now it's nighttime. And he's still not back in the cave.
Yeah. Well, how far does it even take to get to...
The town?
Yeah.
Not that long. Probably like maybe 30 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, walking. They're going walking.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, 15 to 30 minutes it'll take to get to town and back. And then this is when Wei Wuxian's like this. You know what? No. He gets Chen King, puts it in his belt, and he's like, I need to go find Lan Wangji.
And then
I need to go find...
the barrier and Lan Wangji is right there.
No.
Damn.
I mean, that's a good guess, though. And right as he's about to step out, he's like looking around to see where everybody's at. He looks to his like left, and he sees like there's a figure in the radish patches, just sitting. And then he's like this, wait. I know that form. That's not sitting. That's meditating. Who would meditate in a field? Lan Wangji. Lan Wangji. When the hell did he get back? Has he been there this whole time? So he slowly decides to approach Lan Chan. Give him space. He like touches him at first, like touches his arm, like being like, hey. And Lan Chan like that. Jolt. And he's like, never mind. I've been looking for you. And Lan Chan's like, doesn't say me anything.
Keep his composure.
No, he's putting a cold front for him.
Right.
He's like just... Lan Chan just opens his eyes and he's just like looking straight. And Lan Chan says something cold, man. Savage. He's like, I'm okay. You don't need to worry about me. It's not like you're my clan leader.
Oh. I mean, it's true. He's not
His clan leader. It's true. And Wei Wuxian explains that he's sorry. And that he wishes that he could give Lan Wangji everything that he wants. But he's just not clan leader material. We all know why he thinks that.
To him, he thinks he's mediocre.
Yeah. Lan Wangji just explains that Wei Wuxian has nothing to apologize for.
Right.
Wei Wuxian retorts with, I didn't handle that correctly. I panicked. And that he was flattered that Lan Wangji considered him so highly to the point of a clan leader. And he's glad that Lan Wangji has the support. But if they decided to start a clan and the Jins found them a threat, which they already do, that it would cause them to get more attention. And they're already spreading rumors about Wei Wuxian starting an army.
Right.
And Lan Wangji, his right-hand man,
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't look good. Wei Wuxian, I get it. And then he adds that he knows that Lan Wangji has given up a lot. For the Wens and all of them. If there was any way to make him feel better, that he would do it. He says to Lan Wangji that if he wanted to, he could always go back to Lan Clan. That they're fine.
Right.
That he could always go back. Which causes Lan Wangji to look at him in shock like, what? Wei Wuxian's like looking somewhere else, not at him, because he can't. I'm just like these two having their moments.
Having their moments, yeah.
And Lang Wonji's like, do you want me to leave? And Wei Wuxian's like, no, of course not. I want you to stay. It's just, I know that you've been missing your clan and everything. And I would want you to be happy. And that's when Lang Wonji says that he is needed here. Which gets Wei Wuxian all in his feels. Wei Wuxian's like this. Wei Wuxian tells him that he actually thought that Lang Wonji left for good. And all Lang Wonji says, oh, I just walked down the mountain, then walked back up the mountain, and came here. That's it. That's where he's been the whole time. While he's worried that he left to go back to his sect. Wei Wuxian's like, that was a pretty much of a dick move. He's like, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. He's like, okay, we're establishing another rule.
Yeah, another rule.
Another rule. He's like, if you are planning for leaving for good, you can't leave without saying goodbye.
Makes sense.
Lan Chen agrees. So that's something. So this time around, Wei Wuxian actually goes into town alone because Lang Wonji was constructing another house. So he couldn't leave. And Wen King needed him to go get some stuff that they needed. And they needed to get Lang Wonji and another Gwen more nails for the houses. While he's walking around, he starts trying to see if he could haggle some prices for potatoes. And he was able to get these 4 potatoes that are all sprouty, but he needs to plant them, so I guess it's okay.
Oh yeah, potatoes is just self-replicate. No, I guess self-replicating.
I guess.
Put 1 in there in the ground, then you get like 5 or 10 more right next to it.
Yeah.
Because it buds.
And he passes a stall with a bunch of hairpins and stuff and accessories and jewelry. And then he starts thinking, Lan Chen hasn't worn his crest in a while, but he does like his plain clothes better than his Lansec clothes.
Right.
So he's like, I like that he's more downplayed. He looks more relaxed. Think of Wei Wuxian with his red hairpiece, his red hairband that he ties himself with. Think of it like that, but with a blue one. That's what Lang Wonji has now.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he likes it like that, but he's like, but if he buys him like this little like butterfly silver type of pin to put in his little bun, he's like, I bet he would still look good while gardening. He decides to walk away. He hears a familiar voice say, if it isn't the Yingling patriarch. And he turned around, and guess who it is? Jian Chan. Jian Chan decides to show up. And he tells him, I'm here to bring you back home. And he's like, really? You're here to bring me back home? Like that's gonna happen. You think I'm gonna go willingly? Because I'm not.
Right.
I'm still doing things here. And Jian Chan explains that things are getting out of hand. The rumors are going way crazy. That they're saying that he's starting an army of corpses, that he needs to go back home and needs to clear it up. He's like, look, Jian Chan, I am not going back. And he's like, would you rather fight? And he's like, here in an alley, because that's where the voice came from an alley. So they're talking in an alley. And he's like, no, I suggest you come to Lotus Pier and we can fight there. He's like, yeah, no, that ain't happening. Right when Jian Chan is about to retort back, Wei Wuxian sees a flash of blue and gray jump right in front of him as like a blue and gray shield. It's Lang Wonji. Lang Wonji was back at camp. How the hell did he get there? I know.
He's magical.
And Wei Wuxian was about to ask, like, where the heck did he come from?
Maybe he gave him a talisman. Or he put a talisman without him knowing. But I'm thinking, like, when was it? I think it was still during when there's the first timeline, where he found out that someone was attacking the burial mound.
Oh, that was Wen Ning. Wen Ning was attacking burial mounds. He woke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, his little talisman that he had there just like
set on fire. Yeah. That's a good theory.
Maybe that's how.
That's a good theory.
It is a good theory.
Yeah.
It's a great theory.
Freaking Jian Chan, being the smart one that he is,
Of course.
says, of course, second young master Lan would show up. He's like, oh wait, how am I supposed to address a defector again?
Oh.
It pisses off Wei Wuxian. And he's like, what the heck is wrong with you? You don't come here and insult him. The whole time he's saying this, he's like spitting out facts. Lan Chan's like, whoa, calm down, like having behind him.
Right.
And literally, it gets really actiony, really fast. When Jian Chan decides to summon Zidian, wraps Zidian around Wei Wuxian's arm and tries to pull him away, but Lan Chan pushes Wei Wuxian away and starts fighting with Jian Chan in an alley. We're talking 2 cultivators, 2 really strong cultivators fighting in an alley. That thing is gonna freaking break apart.
Yeah.
At some point, like, he does, like, get Beechin to tangle itself up around Zidian, so that way he can't use Zidian. So he retracts Zidian, and then Lan Chan summons his Guken, Wang Ji. He literally gets the strings to tie him up and lift him up in the air. And the whole time, Wei Wuxian is trying to stop Lan Chan because he has, like, this killer look. Like, this look like he's going to kill him. He is going to kill him right now. Because of the previous timeline, he hates Jian Chan.
Yeah, you end up hating him.
When everybody thought that he stabbed Wei Wuxian and he fell off the cliff, he never corrected anybody. When in reality, it was Wei Wuxian that voluntarily let go, so that way he keep both of them safe. But again, he never corrected anybody. So it pisses him off. And Wei Wuxian grabs Lan Chan from behind and tells him to not hurt him. Please don't hurt him.
Right.
And he's like, Lan Chan, don't do anything that you're gonna regret. Stop it. And Lan Chan looks betrayed because Wei Wuxian decided to calm down Lan Chan instead of Lan Chan. So basically he's on Lan Chan's side instead of Lan Chan. And so he's trying to calm them down little by little. He's like, why don't we all go talk at Burial Mound, okay? This is getting a bit out of hand. We just need to talk it out and not any misunderstandings. And Lan Chan's like, don't tell me, tell him.
Right.
Lan Chan, don't you think that we should put him down? No. And Lan Chan's like, Wei Wuxian's like, come on, please put him down. And puts his Guken away, but the strings are still attached to Lan Chan. And he's like, now let him go. He still has a weapon. And the thing is, he still has Sandu, Lan Chan's sword, in his hand unsheathed. He's like, yes, he does. And he promises not to use it. Right?
Right.
And Lan Chan's like this, as long as he doesn't use his. Then he's like, see, there we go.
Compromise.
He's like, now let him go.
Come on, let him go.
Let him go. And then he's like, he can walk.
This is Lan Chan.
Lan Chan says that. He's like, he can walk.
He can walk.
And he's like, F you, dude. F you.
You can walk.
While he's still bound to the Guken strings. I was just like, oh, savage.
That just reminds me of the time whenever I tell, like, our friends, like, that don't drive.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what? You can walk.
You can walk. And then Wei Wuxian's like this, we cannot bring a sect leader to Burial Mounds bound. He's like, fine. They're just going up Burial Mounds now. And Lan Chan literally looks around and he's like, lovely. I'm just like, can he start being a smart one for like once?
Nope.
No. And then he sees Wen King and he stops in his tracks because he's like, Wen King. Wen King sees the state that Lan Chan is in and it's not really good. Like, Lan Chan put a good number on him. He has bruising and everything.
Lan Chan was out there for kill.
Oh, yeah, he was. He definitely was.
He's out to kill at that point.
Yeah, and Wen King's like, maybe I should heal you. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And she's like, are you sure? It might make you traveling home better. I said I'm fine. I don't need I don't need your help. He was about to say, I don't need any Wen's help.
Right, because everyone hates the Wens.
Right.
Even though the ones that are still alive are the very peaceful and doctor ones.
Right.
So dumb.
Yeah. Wei Wuxian decides to want to go in the cave with Lan Chan and Lan Wangji.
Okay.
And Wen King doesn't want to let them in. Because Wen Ning's in there. Because Lan Chan could kill him.
Okay.
And that's not okay with her. What Lan Chan does is he's like, he holds up Beechin and he's like, don't worry, nothing's going to happen on my watch.
Right.
And she steps aside and lets him in. Of course, it's the scene where Wei Wuxian is explaining to Lan Chan what's going on and what he needs to do with Wen Ning to wake him up. Right. Now, Lan Chan is watching all of this happen, and he's actually a bit surprised that Lan Chan is taking it so well. Because he's like, I thought that he came here to hate on him. Why is he taking it so well? When he's like, I need to get his spiritual cognition back into his head. He's like, Lan Wangji, are you seriously gonna let him do that?
Yep.
And Lan Chan's like this. At first, I didn't think it was possible, but it's Wei Wuxian, so I trust him.
With Wei Wuxian, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Even bringing the people back from the dead. At some point, it jumps to the scenes where he sees that Lan Chan is actually worried about Wei Wuxian.
Right.
And Lan Chan's surprised because he's like, Lan Chan's worried? That doesn't sound right. Lan Chan's worried?
Like Lan Chan.
It gets to the scene where Wei Wuxian says that he basically renounces himself from the Zhang clan to keep them safe. And Lan Chan's like, no. That's not what's supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen is he kicks you out. Not you voluntarily leaves. Wait, is that what happened the first time? And it is. You remember the drama, he actually voluntarily leaves. Like, he doesn't want the Zhang clan to worry anymore about it.
Right.
And they decide to go to a duel, just like in the drama. And he's like, no, this isn't supposed to happen. This is not how things are supposed to go. So Lan Chan is in shock because he didn't know this. It's the first time of him seeing it and hearing it. And Lan Chan just decides to walk out. They agreed on when to do the duel, which is going to be probably like in the next day or probably in the next week. Lan Chan is in a whirl. He's like, what the heck did I just witness? And Wei Wuxian is just leaning against the wall of the cave while watching Lan Chan leave and disappearing into the forest. And all he does is smile at him and just shrug, like saying, well, what can you do? And he just retreats back into the cave. That's it. Lan Chan, he's writing a letter for Big Bro. He is now hearing someone playing. He doesn't know where exactly Wei Wuxian is, But he follows the sound of the fruit. He goes to see if he's okay.
Right.
So he sees him leaning on one of the poles of the frame of the next house that they're building. And he asks him, are you alright? He's like,
No.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Although, I gotta ask, are you okay? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I mean, like the fight with Chan. You went pretty hard. Like, if you had like some intentions. And cue, great death grip. Yeah.
Great death grip.
Yeah. And he's like, I didn't want to seem like that's what I wanted to go through. But at the same time, I got very nervous for you. And I got very scared. And I let my emotions get the best of me. And I became very, very violent. And I apologize. He's like, you have nothing to worry about. Chan would never hurt me. And he's like, well, if you knew what I knew, you would definitely know that, yes, he would hurt you. But at the same time, he kind of has a point. Chan never really hurt him.
No.
Then this is where we come to your next question. So, how did you find me? And your theory was that he probably put a talisman or something on him, right? Guess what? Your theory is right. He actually had a talisman that Zewu-jun gave him from the future, of the warning talisman that he had when they went into town for lunch with Aeyuan and everything. And he says that he hid it in one of the layers of Zewu-jun's robes, just in case if he needed him. He put it there just in case if he were in danger. And Zewu-jun's like, that's actually pretty crafty. He's like, I wouldn't think someone like you would actually have that. Where'd you get it? And he's like, he's like this.
You can't tell him.
He's like this.
He could.
No, I know he could. And he's like, a friend. And he's like, well, your friend was pretty crafty there. And he's like, you know, that gives me ideas. Maybe we should actually have that. It's like, what do you think? He's like, yeah. He's like, but I wouldn't think the pristine Langwanji Hangul-jun would actually not only drift away from his literal finesse to actually like have something on that.
Right.
And he's like, I thought you would just listen to most of what you've read in your books. He's like, most of the time, but not all the time. And that's the end of chapter 7. Zewu-jun realizing that he does not want Lan-chan to leave. It seems like he has some separation issues. Very interesting. And then Lan-chan watching the whole thing going on between Zewu-jun and Chan and him renouncing the sect voluntarily, just like Lan-chan did. And now Lan-chan's wondering, did this happen the first time or not? And now he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to say. Everything that he thought when it came to Chan and him almost wanting to mess him up. And again, still surprised that people actually watch this, like it, and they enjoy it. Because I guess this story, compared to the Untamed, is actually very, very entertaining. But with that being said, remember being weird is better than being normal. And I will see you guys the next time. Jane and Saitian.